It is undeniably, unmistakably a BMW X2. So, the BMW lineup, it has really grown over time. In the old days, if you wanted a BMW, you bought the likes of a 3 Series, a 5 Series, or a 7 Series, for instance. But these days, we get so many options to choose. You get an even number for every odd number. What I mean by this is, if you want a more sporty 3 Series, for instance, you look at the likes of a 4 Series. If you want a more sporty style, more coupe-like 5 Series, you go for a 6 Series, and similar with the X models. If you want a more sporty BMW X1, you look at something like this, BMW's all-new X2, particularly when it's bearing the badge M35i. You see, M in BMW world is an incredibly important letter. It's M performance, it's motorsport, and it is ultimately the essence of sheer driving pleasure. So then you come onto this car, the X2. I first drove it at launch, and it's a unique car from the brand. It's a compact crossover, or as BMW like to call it, a sports activity vehicle. So you get a lot in the way of luxury, comfort and practicality, but of course a lot in the way of sport as well. In here, for example, I've got BMW's connected drive services, the large touchscreen based media system in front with the jog dial at the center. It's got the likes of Apple's CarPlay, but here in this case wireless CarPlay. I simply have my iPhone in here and there's my full CarPlay on the screen in front. I've got a brilliant heads-up display, perhaps the best in the business. I've got paddles to grip onto here and engage with the sporty driving elements, and I got sound oozed at me gently by the Harman Kardon sound system. I've also got seats which drop flat, a full folding tailgate, and I could get my mountain bike in the back if that's what I want to do. But this is so much more than just a practical, compact family crossover. In fact, this is the true meat and veg M performance. Yes, it may not be rear-wheel driven. In fact, it's predominantly front-wheel driven. Yes, it may not be BMW's classic 6-cylinder longitudinally mounted engine. In fact, it's a transverse-mounted turbocharged 4-cylinder. And while you may shy away now and purists may say, that's not a true BMW, that's not a true M car, you'd be wrong. You'd be very wrong. Because show it a bit of road like this, a mountain pass, pop it from a mode like comfort into a sport dynamic plus setting, suddenly you'll realize there is some serious sound coming from behind. Now this car is gripping and engaging. It pops, it cracks, and it is quick. Now that clever front sports M differential lets you feel every bit of grip on the road, and that engine sounds absolutely incredible. It's here where you get the true essence and enjoyment. It's here where BMWs come alive. And this car is by far and away my favorite within this segment in terms of drivability. It is just pure funness. You just need a little bit of road like this. Suddenly that turbocharged 4-cylinder motor is barking, it's shouting, and it's delivering its full 225 kilowatts, 450 newton meters of torque. 0 to 100 is dealt with in just a shade under 5 seconds, and you are here experiencing full control and full fun in a car like this. You also find driven on its low profile alloys, 22540s, which it's got on this car, the large blue brake calipers, and what is a truly sporty dynamic car make for what is proper enjoyment. You see, this car on the outside looks sharp, it looks dynamic, it looks aggressive. I think in fact the most sporty within this segment. You get those BMW badges on the C-pillars, the large blue brake calipers. You get the likes of what is overall a very, very stylish car. But you get all of this in a vehicle which also offers so much in the way of practicality. The BMW X2, finally, we got to look at is its price. At a bit over 815,000 Rand for this particular car, it's not exactly cheap. But then again, you got to look at its competitors. If you want a well-spec'd Range Rover Evoque, you're into this money at least. If you want a Volvo XC40, again, highly spec'd with a sport R-design trim, you're going to be paying this kind of money. An Audi Q2 similar. And this is by far and away, as far as I'm concerned, the most sporty within the market space which it sits. It is a truly fun, overall true crossover. And as far as I'm concerned, it is really the essence of BMW. This is sheer driving pleasure. And this is a car that lets me find another piece of road like that. And when I do, I'm going for some more. From me, Jason of Technobok. Until next time, I'll see you guys soon. Cheers for now.